Hello, everybody.
Welcome,
Awesome.
welcome.
Yeah, we have a tiny crowd today, but that is okay. We're
Tiny but mighty.
yes, we are Rachel Arazo and Susie Zern of the Moon Sister Activation Circle,
Yes.
and we're here to chat with you about the alignment this month. Because oh my God, it's crazy. But as always, we try to prepare everybody with the best of intentions when it comes to the alignments.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to make sure that we're going to educate you and we're here to support you and we're going to make sure that your energy is on par. And we have a lot of wonderful new exciting tidbits and juicy things this month. I'm excited.
Oh, kinds of cool
Yes.
stuff.
Let's see, Susie, is there do you want to tell us a little bit about our goddess this month? Because I know we haven't worked with her before.
No, actually, this month's goddess is going to be Athena. And she is a Greek goddess. And I got several pictures of her, but I'll put this one up. She is a god of strategy. She is also a god of war, but not in the sense that you think she wants to kill everybody. She's a goddess of war in the fact that she's very strategic. She plans. She is a warrior goddess, and she is Greek, and she is a daughter of Zeus, his favorite daughter, who came out of her head because he split his head with the axe because of the headache.
Mm-hmm.
And so she come out of his head fully formed in an adult and armored. So she is a virgin goddess, but she is very much a warrior goddess, very strategic, very what I call justice. And she was really honored by tons and tons of women and people and men, and many altars and buildings are structured and built to worship her because she was so mighty and great. So we're working with her energy of being focused, being strategic, keeping your eye on the prize, being what I call a justice warrior also. She looks at things fairly. So she's not very emotional, though. That's the shadow side of her, is that if you're too Athena, then that means you don't make decisions based on emotion. And sometimes you need to have emotion and you need to have sympathy and compassion for people. Athena is very, very strategic. So if you are working on a plan, if you need to start working on a plan, you need to work with her energy. And we'll be doing the full moon ritual with her as our focal goddess for the full moon.
Yeah.
This month.
Because this month we have the full moon in Pisces, and sometimes the best way I always like to describe Pisces is some days the fish is up and it's swimming and it's all good, and then some days the fish is down and it's really, really low. So the whole key is to find that harmony between the yin and yang, and just make it really balanced for you. So some things about Athena that we will be using this month is, again, the fact that she came from Zeus's forehead. Normally, if we were to think of her in terms of mythos or even in plays, in some of the Greek plays by Socrates, Aristotle, and all the Greek classics, we always see her side with man.
Mm-hmm.
And Susie is super right about the fact that she's not very emotional based, because if we think of the play The Furies, where Athena shows up, but her vote always goes for the masculine side. So a lot of the times when it is women versus men, she does side with men in terms of logic and needing to balance out that female aspect of, we get very emotional sometimes,
Yeah.
So it's a good thing that we are touching a more masculine goddess this time, because in the past months we've been more for the feminine ones, the one that knows her inner power. We did Kali, and we did Shakti, and we did Serket and Artemis. But this time we're going to touch on a virgin goddess that is not about the feminine wiles. It's about
strategic and planning and war and so that's interesting though, because sometimes we need some male energy, right? We get a lot of female energy, so balance it out, like Rachel said, yin yang.
And the best thing, the most wonderful thing I think about being a part of the Divine Wild Woman is the fact that you do have that balance, because we do need masculine energy in our lives, and there is value within masculinity. And when it comes to our practices, touching on the goddesses that are more masculine based is going to give you a more rounded out feeling.
Yeah.
So her kind of thing, something to contemplate for you to think about this month is, if I'm reasonable, I can avoid most battles. So it's like, if I can be open to compromise and negotiation and delegation, like literally all she does in her mythos is she's negotiating. She's the judge. She's the King Solomon that'll, split the baby in half in order to keep the peace, kind of thing. So if you think about things in a more logical way, when it comes to how tense the energy is for a lot of people right now, that is going to win the battle. We're not focusing on Aries, going headstrong into war. We're focusing on the tactics, planning the map, kind of thing.
She's very much what I call, she's in the background of war. She's not the one who's going to be out in the battlefield. She's going to be the one masterminding and strategically planning the next move that her, war or her warriors will do. And that's the kind of energy we want to bring in when we are working with our lives. If it's almost like a chess game she's playing. She's thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead. So that's the kind of energy we want to bring in if we're feeling kind of like stagnant, or if we're feeling chaotic, we're not feeling focused, we're feeling like shiny object syndrome. This is the type of energy that you want to bring in and work with Athena. And she's very focused and very analytical and very forward thinking. And she actually anticipates what's going to happen after her certain moves. It's like chess game.
Yeah.
The master at that.
Yeah, she really is. And I find it so perfect that we're going to be touching on her this month because of all the retrogrades we do have happening right now. So for those that don't know, of course, it'd be weird if you didn't. Of course, we're in eclipse season. Summer is eclipse season. So today we are celebrating a new moon in Leo that's also a solar eclipse. It's the last eclipse of our season, and it's going out with a bang. But then on top of that, starting the 8th, when the Lion's Gate opened for Leos, which again is just this powerful surge of energy, we gained on a new retrograde. So now officially we have Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, Uranus, and
what's the other one?
Neptune. So we got 6 going on now. So it's all this energy that feels like things are sluggish for us. And a great way to think of retrogrades is how we read, okay? We read from left to right because that's the way we naturally read. Just like on the Eastern Hemisphere, they read from right to left. That's just how it is. But sometimes if we read in the opposite direction, or if we see in a movie someone moving the opposite way that we would normally read, we see resistance there. And it shows the journey as being a little bit harder, So that's exactly how the retrogrades are. It's just from our perspective, it's moving backwards. It's moonwalking, and it makes it really, really difficult. So what happens if we have this energy going on and we're not prepared for it? Like, I know not everybody was prepared for multiple retrogrades at the same time. So these are some things that could be happening that I love this month we're going to use Athena to balance this stuff out. So
Yeah.
first off, Mercury, we have issues with communication and technology, of course.
All the time.
Lots of misunderstandings. So it's going to help give some balance when it comes to communication. For Mars, projects are difficult to start, but they will speed through if they're finished, you know, and issues with proofreading and things. So it'll give a balance between bringing in the energy that we do need in order to finish our projects and get going, start our businesses, start whatever plans that we have going on.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got a lot of arguments with authority because of Saturn, and Saturn is childish.
Yeah.
So a balance between our ego and getting our pride hurt and standing up for ourselves. We get a balance between, for those that are getting a lot of psychic dreams right now because of Neptune retrograde and your abilities randomly popping up, you're going to get a nice balance so you know what is your intuitive voice and what is you just going down a path and just Alice Wonderlanding it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing is just, because Pluto is death, it's Hades. So accepting that things have run their course, but also it's time for new beginnings. So it's balancing out what in my life actually does need a change,
yeah,
and what needs to, you know, stay the same. Maybe it's not time for the death for this, you know,
yeah.
and learning how to cope with it. So it's a lot of stuff going on.
It's a lot.
And a lot of unnecessary stuff that's getting piled on and feeling all the energy just on top of you because it's stressful as I don't know what right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to lead you through this because the whole point of the new moon is to plant new seeds and then rounding it off with harvest with Athena, which
yeah,
a perfect harvester because she's going to make sure everybody gets their due energy. Everybody gets the spoils that they have been working for.
Everybody gets watered the same.
Exactly.
Yep.
Awesome. So what all, do you have anything else to add when it comes to Athena or the alignment right now, Susie?
Do you want to talk a little bit about what it means actually to be in the Lionsgate, the Leo kind of energy?
Yeah.
Let me talk about it.
Yeah, we absolutely can.
Okay, we can touch on that.
Yeah, go on.
A lot of people are like, what does that mean, really?
Oh, yeah.
So what kind of energy are we going to be working with during the Leo?
Well, this, let me make sure I got my notes. There we go. So when it comes to Leo, we think of, usually we think of the lion, we think of being courageous, and but in this sense, we're thinking of a lioness. So we're very, if you think of lionesses, they go out and they hunt for the food. The men stay home and they watch the kids. The women are out and they're going to get things done, but they're also very fair with it. They make sure everybody gets their share. They make sure their cubs eat before that they eat. And, you know, it's that kind of Leo energy really means to say goodbye to the things that don't serve you and go hunting for something new. It's time to clear out the den of all the bones. It's time to clear out of all the scraps that no longer serve you. And the things that have been hanging around for too long, like, you know, that pile of clothes that's been waiting to go to Goodwill, you know, that you keep forgetting about. It's time to take it to Goodwill. It's time to get rid of it, you know? Yep. So also, when we think of the Leo new moon and think of the Lionsgate, we're reminded of our own inner power. We're reminded of our roar. And if you want to blast some Katy Perry to, you know, claim your roar, go for it, because that's pretty much what it is. It's, your power has an ebb and flow. Your natural energy has an ebb and flow.
Yep.
And it's time for you to honor and respect that and give yourself your due value and let things go their own course.
Correct.
And to speak your truth, it's very throat chakra and solar plexus base, which matches because they're two chakras that really work together. So first off, things that the Lionsgate started and now the new moon is really emphasizing is you need to decide what you want. And you've been kind of in limbo because of all these retrogrades happening. Now it's the time to officially stand on your feet and decide. Like, that's the first step. And after that, just watch it happen, watch it manifest, as long as you don't mess with it and don't touch it, you know?
Correct.
And then also it's time to spice things up that are already here. Clean out everything. If you have a significant other and you feel like spicing things up when it comes to bedroom stuff, go for it, because now is the time to really embrace that kind of energy, you know?
Yeah.
And it's all about showing romance, not just with a partner, but also to yourself, self-love, self-nurturing, and getting to know each and every part of your physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental being. And then especially the Lionsgate for the last thing really spoke to knowing your heart's truth, what really resonates with you, and the things you've been holding back, and the things that you don't want in the past other people to know about. That's what's going to be flowing now. That's what's going to be leveling up. Like you're not going to be able to hold it inside anymore. You're going to have to let it loose. And it might not be pretty. It might cause some fights, might cause some arguments, but it's a balance that needs to happen in order for things to move forward. So,
yeah,
that's how come it was, the Lionsgate was super, super powerful. And then we're going to continue to feel this energy for up until like Sunday.
Yeah.
And through the rest of the month, because we've started off, we're ending retrograde and and the freaking eclipse season with a bang. It's ridiculous.
I always associate opening the Lionsgate as now is the time for you to be fierce and bold. If there's something that's been holding you back in your life, or a project, or you don't want to say anything, now is the time for you to be the queen of your own pride, to actually be embraced in your feminine energy. If you've been having your hair up, now is the time to let it out and just be wild and go for it. Be courageous and be spirited and be childlike and play around and have fun. But it is also time for us to know when we need to just rest. Because if you look at a lion, they're not running and hunting 24 hours a day. They hardly ever hunt. They're kind of like lazy bastards, really. But that just means they're in tune with who they are naturally. Now, for me, the Lionsgate also means that it's your feminine energy now. You are in charge of the males in your pride. They all follow you now. You decide who you want to be with. You decide who you let in your inner circle. You decide who you want to be friends with. What you're going to do is about healthy boundaries. And working with the Lionsgate to me also means being fierce and bold and, making things happen. And also, what I always say, now is the time for you to decide if you want to be the lioness or do you want to be the gazelle, right? So now is the time for you to make a decision on, you're like, no, I'm going to step up and I'm going to be the provider, the protector, the huntress, the, wild, crazy, fun person. And that I know that is in me that has been, repressed a little bit. So now is the time, the gate is totally open for us to run through it with our hair in the wind, right? And just, having fun and frolicking and just really knowing our power as a lioness and a female lioness, and just having fun and being powerful in every stride, and being, know that every stride that we do, every step we take toward achieving something has purpose. So you're very much taking every step as a meaningful process, as a meaningful step towards your goal. So that's what it is for me.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
If you can embrace it, it's a great time to be a female.
It is. And it's just like, it's not the time to sit on your ass. It's like, you already know what you want. You already know you can articulate it, and you have the plan to do it. Just go.
Yep. Do it.
Do it.
And sometimes if you think of, a lioness too, and you want to bring in, we talked about Athena and how they're kind of alike. If you think of the lioness and Athena being the same, they'll sit back and have an overview of what's going on below them, and they are strategically planning what their next move is going to be. Who is the one that's going to be, I hate to say this, but the weakest one or the easiest prey for them to get? So they're really analyzing their life and analyzing what their next move is going to be. So we're bringing both of those energies in this time to be really powerful. And when you can connect those two energies, you're going to be super powerful, because we have that super moon or whatever it is now. What's it called? Eclipse.
Yeah, it's the solar eclipse, but it's also it's a super moon as well. Yeah, that we're getting for the full moon. Yeah.
So if you can bring all that energy in, you're going to really do some stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And this is perfect too, because not only is the energy perfect, but then also usually whenever we leave the circles, me and Susie are just tapping into our own abilities. But now we're both actually being trained as certified circle leaders in our areas, and we're actually working with other people on how to improve this. So it's like, not only is the energy ready to level you up, but also now we're leveling you up too. So it's like you get the extra support.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's what we need.
Yes. So, I figured today, especially because we have a small group, so it really kind of works.
Yeah.
That we can do a couple of readings to help you through the beginning part of this month. And then what we'd like to do is extend a personal invitation to the activation and the ritual that we're doing for this month, because this month it's so much more pristine than it has been in the past. And it's going to be wonderful. So does anybody here, Maya, Patty, Debbie, do any of you want a card? Or cards? I know I will be using Tea Leaves and the Wild Moon lunar deck that I unboxed in my group. And which two decks are you using?
I think I'm going to use the lunar one that we have, and then the life one.
Awesome.
And some other cards maybe. Whatever we're drawn to.
And feel free to unmute yourselves when you ask a question. That's absolutely fine. I'll unmute. Oh.
Yeah, so you'll see some changes in the circle, moon circle. Most of the time we've done like readings, but I think we're going to add more ritual to it, right, Rachel?
Yeah, especially in terms of sisterhood, because we really want to be able to support all kinds of different women, no matter what level they are at for their practice, to work with ritual as well as leveling up their energy, as well as walking with all the different goddesses. Yep. So this is the perfect opportunity for us to add in more rituals and just make it very, especially because our circle, we limit it to us two as the high priestesses and then 11 core members. So because we want to keep it small, we want to make the most of the time that we have with you. So it's not just readings and energy work, but it's also the ritual for sure.
Yeah. So who wants a card?
And if you're on the computer and don't know how to do this, or even if you're on mobile and don't know, at the bottom of your screen, there's a little chat bubble. If you don't want to speak or show your face for anything, there's a little chat place, and we can actually see the chat when it pops up. So
I also think there's a little thing where can you raise your hand?
Yeah, Maya just raised her hand.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. What would you like some guidance on? Ugh. What would you like some guidance on, my dear?
Let's see what's going on with Ugg.
General.
General, okay.
Okay. In my big bag. of shuffling cards. Balance. Okay.
So,
I didn't get a lion, but I got another cat. That's funny.
both times I'm all puppy.
Oh, you're okay. Let's see. So first off, I've got a lot of risk here. Like some risky things are going on. I've also got the Dark Moon for the Tamed Wild Apothecary Moon deck. And basically it's talking about challenge and opportunity to fully descend. So you need to start surrendering. And it's like you're holding on to everything with a firm, tight grasp, and you're just afraid of things coming up, especially out of your shadow. Like people seeing a nasty side of yourself that you don't particularly care for. It's time to release and get reacquainted with who you actually are. I've also got that I've got the skull, so hidden secrets will harm you. There's some things that you either haven't been admitting to yourself or to other people that are going to bite you in the tuchus if they do not come out to light, because it's very risky. We get the tiger here, so you're taking a chance by not doing anything about it. Yeah, so it's time to relax. I know it's hard. It's very hard, but you need to loosen your attachments and relax and just let things happen, because otherwise it's going to blow up even worse than it will if you just let things happen. And what's going to happen first, before all these secrets come out and all the fighting starts, is you're going to get a reward for being such a nice person and honest person. They're going to be, the conversation's going to go, oh, you're so honest with me and you can tell me anything. And then you'll actually reveal that there's some things that you haven't been upfront with. And again, this can either be with yourself and your shadow, or with other people. Oh, what is in Darkness? Let it out. Forget card without journal. Yeah. But this is specifically the Dark Moon phase that you're dealing with. So you haven't quite entered the New Moon phase yet. You're lagging behind a little bit.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of what I call stinking thinking that you need to release. Dating a husband, but what? Getting divorced to dating again, a lot of work to be, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are struggling with self-sabotaging thoughts. This is a card of freeing yourself from negative thoughts. Negative energies. And it's also a card of self-worth. So I'm seeing that you don't have a lot of what I call self-confidence, self-worth, female energy, warrior energy, goddess energy. You're, especially since you're going through a divorce, that takes a toll on the way a woman thinks about herself. Okay. So you've got a lot of self-doubt, self-sabotaging thoughts that you need to release. And you need to align your life with who you truly are and who you truly want to be and what you desire to be that you haven't really let out of the bag yet. Because, Rachel just talked about there's a secret that you haven't said or you haven't faced that you need to look at. So this is all about living your true self and who you are. And this is a great time because the Lions Gate is open. So if you want to start working on that, you need to start working on that one. And letting go of things that you're not aligned with. So you may want to do some what we call death work or cord cutting work or releasing work.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to really get control of the negative crap, the negative chatter that's going on in your life right now.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, in some ways that you can work with that, because it keeps coming up for me, Earth, so very root chakra based, which makes sense for hanging on to things, because that's needing to do some cord cutting, at least to the person that you used to be, or the secrets that you've been hanging on to. That's very crown based. So linked up, they match together. So I know that you are dating your husband again, and you're trying to start over again. So perhaps if you don't want to lose him completely and completely push that away, do a meditation with some aquamarine, dig your toes into the earth, and visualize pushing away the negative parts of him and yourself that you don't want to inhibit you anymore. Just push that as far away as possible and pull closer the things that you love about him and yourself in your relationship. It's just, and it's not completely getting rid of them, because they're who each of you are, and it's history that you can't completely let go of. But you're pushing it away, so it's in the back corner, so it'll get cobwebs and it won't do anything to you anymore. And you're bringing forward the things you want to work on.
Yeah, with that situation that you just talked about, that's tough. But if you're not in it to reconcile for the right reasons, it's going to become worse. It's going to become harder for you to release and to leave when you've done it like now. Because you're going to look back at your life in retrospect in 5 years when, and I'm speaking from this out of love and respect, that when it's bad or when it goes bad, you're going to say, yeah, I should have listened to my inner self, my inner being, my, warrior, loving goddess, who said, what are you doing? Why are you reconciling this? It wasn't what you wanted to be fully aligned with. You remember talked about you cutting things that you're not fully aligned with. Look how shattered she is.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to manifest, if you're not in it for the right reason, it's going to manifest in other ways, and it's going to show up years down the road, and you're going to look back and you're going to say, I should have listened to my inner self.
Yeah. And I think the thing that's not clicking for you, Maya, is that secret of not being happy and not into reconciliation, but not wanting to hurt him. That's the thing. That's the skull that you don't want to admit. You're doing it because a small part of you still loves him, but not all of you does. So it feels more like you're trying to get back what you once had instead of something new. And verbally and mentally, you're thinking we're going to date again. But emotionally, you still want the man you originally fell for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem. That's the risky part. That's the part that's going to mess with you. So we want, like you said, push away the shadow parts, because that's never going to disappear. But you need to be upfront and honest with saying, I am not in love with you as I used to be. So make me fall in love with a new relationship. You're never going to be able to go back to that honeymoon phase, because that's in the past. But what you can do is make a new honeymoon phase. Yeah. Make a new love and a new relationship just with the same person. It's like trying again and just getting a cleaner slate. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. I've said I'm not in love with you part, but couldn't get to be. Yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's almost like, and we talked about Athena and being a goddess of justice. It's almost like if you're not looking at your shadow side, or you're not looking at how you truly are and what you truly want, you're doing yourself injustice to you and to him also. Because both of you deserve to have someone who is fully and totally in love with you. Yeah. Completely in love. Both of you deserve that.
Yeah, and because it's guilt, that's that's perfect right now, because your inner lioness needs some work. She needs to be pampered too. just like in his own way, he's got to be pampered. You've got this, though. You know we're here to support you.
Yep.
Awesome. You're super welcome.
Aw.
I love Maya. Maya's awesome.
Yes, she is.
I need to go to New Orleans to go visit her. We should do a retreat in New Orleans to go see
A
her.
witchy retreat.
Yes!
Not in the summer, though. They have one. It's called Hex Fest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Hex Fest. It's in August in New Orleans. I was like, well, are you all crazy?
And plus, the food is spicy enough.
I know.
I can't.
Granted, it's all in a hotel, but I'm like, no, man, because I want to go out.
Oh, we got to go out in the middle of the night. It's going to be, Streetcar Named Desire types of.
I know. That's when we go out. That's when witches come out at night, anyways, right?
Yes. Oh, Patty, Deb, do you want us to pull cards for you? That's why we're here. Yes, awesome. What question do you have, Deb?
My moon deck is different than your moon deck.
You got the Tamed Wild one, right?
I don't think so.
No, hon.
That's kind of cool that we got different decks, though, right?
You bought it from the same apothecary I did, right?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh, jeez. Oh, on the box, does it say Tamed Wild?
No.
Yeah, then it's probably not the... Oh, you got a different moon deck than me. That's the thing you sent me.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, I got the Wild Moon deck. That's what the box looks like.
Oh, that's awesome, though.
It on the side.
This is why we work really well together, because we were even on the same page, like, oh yeah, I'll get a moon deck, we'll get a moon deck. And then we picked our own moon decks. And we were supposed to pick together, but we didn't. Obviously, Goddess was like, no, I don't want you to have that moon deck. That's Rachel's moon deck.
Apparently. Whatever. It still matches. It still works.
We still get perfectly great readings from both of these.
Oh, Deb, what question do you have? Let's see. Maya said it's freaking hot. The humidity nails you to the cement.
Yeah.
So hot you can't pull jeans down to pee. It's like that thing I saw somebody, they said they were in New Orleans and they put a freaking sheet pan with cookie dough on it and put on their dashboard and said, yes, I am baking cookies in my car. And yes, my car smells like cookies and I do not regret it.
Now that's living your life long, and that's living your life with no regrets.
Nope. Okay, Deb wants to know whether she should move out of state or not. That's a very good question. That normally would be a palm reading question, because I can tell that in like 2 seconds. But,
Rachel's awesome at palm reading.
Yeah.
She did mine a little bit ago.
Yeah. Susie's got lots of soulmates.
Mm. That's a little bitty pest hanging around.
They're all there to help you.
They are.
So, Deb, moving out of state. Well, I wouldn't, astrologically, you would be okay considering it's not Jupiter retrograded. But, let's see. Ooh,
are you thinking about moving back to a familiar place, like your hometown or somewhere that you know? What are you getting, Rachel?
I got waning quarter, but in terms of T cards, we have a gong, we've got a pig, and we've got a funnel. So, you're frustrated like hell right now. It's like you're putting all the stuff in the funnel for it to process, but it's not coming out, so you're getting irritated.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason behind wanting to move. It's also because an exciting event is happening. For some reason, I've got a birth in my head, so some kind of change is happening that is in a different state, so that's giving you incentive to go, but you need to be careful of being greedy, wanting to go because of that.
Oh, look at that little pig.
Yes, little piggy. Yeah, if you want to go just because of the event or to try and get away, and because you're frustrated, then it's not a good idea to move states. In terms of the moon, we've got the waning quarter. But in this sense, it's a grounded silence. Okay? So we think of the hermit, they sit at the tree of life and they sit there and they contemplate with themselves, but it's a forced silence for them to think through everything. Because accepting the negative that has happened, the frustrations that have happened, gives you appreciation for the good that has happened. Okay? So really, you need to ground yourself and you need to do some solitary journaling, meditation, whatever you need to do to ultimately decide whether you want to move. Just from the T cards, I would say do not do it because it seems like you're just doing it to get away from the frustration. But if there's a good reason, and there's multiple good reasons for you wanting to move, and your intuition is behind you, then I'd say go for it.
Yeah, I feel that we got the cocoon, the butterfly one. You need to trust the process and not force it. And like Rachel said, like the hangman type of energy, you just need to take some time out and really think about it and trust the process. If you decide to move, it's not going to be anytime soon, because you're going to have time to contemplate it, to let your inner butterfly develop in its cocoon. So it's going to take some time to really process it, to weigh the ins and outs of moving. Don't force it. You don't have to make a decision today. Be aware of the signs that the universe is telling you. It's okay to move, but it's not okay to move. It's not the right decision. And that is part of the process of getting in tune with who you are and getting in tune with what you really need to do. Is really just taking some time and not forcing the issue. Also get that you're probably going to make this decision, if you do decide to move, emotionally, instead of what I feel is like, the Athena, the very strategic, I'm going to move because I make more money here, or I'm going to move because I have more jobs here, or I'm going to move because I can be, more prosperous here. It has nothing to do with, you having family members, or if you make that decision, I mean, it's going to be like an emotional tug, because this one is really you having a longing feeling for something. That's why I asked if you were trying to move back home or a familiar place. There's something that is pulling you emotionally. Okay? So you want to make sure that when you make this decision to move, that you are balancing the strategic of it, the logical thing, and the emotional part of it together, and not just say, okay, I'm going to move out of guilt or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Have either option, but both places involve family.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is there a birth or somebody going to college or somebody starting something new in the other place you want to move to? Or someone you haven't seen in a long time and they're going through something big, so you want to go over there? Because if that's the case, like I said, it's grounded. That is correct. Okay, yeah. Then, yeah, I feel like both of us are saying don't do it if it's just emotional based.
No.
You got to think about it. If you just want to pack up and leave, that's how you get there, and then you're like, oh, crap. I messed myself over. So
don't do it based on emotion.
Exactly. You need to let yourself rest first and really think this through. Give yourself until the next waning quarter. Okay? The next one. Not this upcoming one this month, but September's waning quarter. Wait for that one. And then decide if you want to go and then redraw. Because otherwise it's going to mess you up. in terms of you won't have enough money to sustain yourself. You might not have a proper place to live. If you're just picking someone quick, it's not going to work out. So yeah, the oh crap is what's keeping me here for now. Yeah, stick it out. It sucks. I know you want to be there, but it will be okay without you for the moment in terms of permanently living there. You want to go visit, go for it. But in terms of permanently moving, you need to give it some more thought.
Yeah, because I feel if you permanently move, you're going to have to make sure all your ducks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be one where you are very fast moving. You know, you're not going to, you say, all right, today I'm moving, I'm packing my stuff up. And you don't have a job in place, you don't have a place to live, you don't, you need extra money. If you do decide to move, you're going to have to take some time to really plan it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all your ducks in a row, so you don't have a whole lot of surprises.
Exactly. Yeah. Have a little more prep and thinking about this, and then come check with us again.
Yeah.
Or shoot, even if you decide to join us for the ritual this month, come ask us again then, and we can give you, we can double check it for you, because there will be time. Which, by the way, all the cards that me and Susie are using, these are for at least a month out.
Yeah.
Minimum. Especially tea leaves. These are for a good minute. So this isn't going to be a quick fix kind of answer. It's going to take a while process.
Yeah. Because we usually go, if we do new moons, we go new moon to new moon. Mm-hmm. If you're in full moon circle with us, we go full moon to next full moon. Mm-hmm. So you're a whole month.
Yeah, so Maya too, go until the next dark moon. So the day before next month's new moon, keep at with your stuff until then as well.
Yeah.
Just to give you a note. Okay. Totally agree. Thank you very much. You're super welcome.
Welcome.
We just want you to be happy.
And just take your time. Don't feel pressure. Don't feel rushed. Mm-hmm. Everything will come together when it's supposed to come together. Trust the process.
Exactly. Now, Patty, do you have any questions or anything? Let us know. Let us know. Yeah, because you'll be our last one for tonight. And then in terms of the ritual, we can talk about our different options, because we like to make sure that everybody feels supported in what they can do. Mm-hmm. So we can talk to that afterward. But let us know in the chat, Patty, just in case you don't know. If you look at Zoom on the bottom and you move your mouse over it, there's a little chat bubble. Go ahead and click that, and it'll pop up the chat on the side, and it'll tell you whether or not you want to have a reading or not. Put it in the little box, and it'll tell us. Or you can unmute yourself and tell us. Dehydration. I need water. Darn. Patty says, I've been doing some shadow work and wonder if I'm on the right track. That's a wonderful question. All of you must be intuitives, because you're asking some beautiful questions. Let's see.
Shadow work is so important. A lot of people forget about working with their shadows.
Yeah, and I find it funny, as we were going through the sacral chakra, our inner child and our shadow both are housed in the same place. It's just everybody wants to ignore the shadow in the back room. Is somebody getting married? Or are you starting a business partnership in some kind of way? I asked because I have a card that specifically says marriage, so I want to figure out what kind of marriage it's talking about. If you're getting married, awesome. Then mazel tov. I'm not seeing anything. So what I am seeing here, then, if no one is getting married, or you're not trying to start a business partnership of any time, No marriage, but starting a business. Okay, so business partnership then. This is going to be surrounding that, because I have the ring, which pops up whenever there's a commitment. If you're into Lenormand, same thing. The Lenormand and tea leaves are super, super close. So it's the same thing where it's like a commitment is happening, a partnership is happening. It's going to be some shadow work specifically around that, because someone in that partnership, whoever you decide to collaborate with or want to start your business with, is going to try to force you to do something against your will. And it's going to trigger some stuff. And you might have a reaction and just completely go off the wall. You might get super offended, not want to talk to them, just feel defeated and not want to start your business or anything at all. And I want you to stop if that does happen, because this has something to do with a partnership that happened when you were younger. We got a younger woman here. So this is a younger version of you. I'm getting teens, because normally the younger woman is teens, otherwise a child would pop up. Where someone either in school did not uphold their end of the bargain when it came to a project, or someone promised to go out with you, something with partnership where that you felt used and misused. So if there's something you don't want to do, put up those boundaries and be really upfront about it, and I'll try to keep it very calm and professional, because this is going to trigger you. Okay? And make sure that you do some shadow work around when you were younger, whether or not you had issues with partnerships. And then when it comes to the moon phase, what that says is a waning crescent. So this deals with blind faith and persevering. You know, you're in the void. You don't feel very grounded, but you're just going to go for it, and you're going to believe that things are going to work out. But then when things don't work out exactly according to your plan, then you get upset. So I really recommend a lot of self-care. This one doesn't give a stone. It says, though, that if you are into animal medicine, use a bat on your altar or in your space, and it will help you find your way through the darkness like they use sonar. What do you have, Susie?
I have that you're on the right path, but you got a lot of what I call windy paths. Our path is never straight. So right now you are on your windy path. What I have is like, trust your inner compass. This is compass. And trust yourself, and trust that you know where your true north is. And that's the key. Even though that you have a windy path and you have all these things you need to learn and all this shadow work and stuff that's going to be coming up, when you come out of that, you know you're going to be so grounded. You're going to know where your true north is at. You know where we're going to be going. So when you come out of the darkness, or you come out of the woods, and you know everything right now seems a little dark and gray and not so much what I call you can see things clearly. Once you clear that fog out from your shadow work, you're going to trust your compass again and find your true north. So that's going to guide you and direct you to where you really need to be in life. But I also am, so you are on the right path, but
yeah, you are.
It's leading you down wonky paths, but eventually you will find your true north and who you really are again. But I am getting that you need to really work on your Akashic records and tap into those and see what your Akashic records have to do with you and working with your shadow, because that's going to reveal what kind of shit that you need to work with as far as working with your shadow. So you need to really, what I say, unlock your Akashic records and ask for guidance and ask for, you know, the reveal, and ask for any knowledge that needs to be revealed to you. So look at accessing the Akashic records. Work with someone who accesses those for you.
She says, I do have trouble sometimes speaking up sometimes. That happens. That's totally okay. And that makes sense. Yeah. And all of this I feel like we're tapping into the possibility of what could happen depending on if something within your shadow is not dealt with.
Yeah.
You know, so this is your next step when it comes to shadow work. You definitely are on the right path. I'm not getting anything saying you're on the wrong path at all.
No, definitely in the right direction.
Yeah. It's just a matter of you need to prepare yourself because something in your life is going to pertain to this right now. You need to start clearing out the fog, maybe do a meditation with the Akashic Records, talk to your guardian angels if you have found yours, and use them to help clear it.
Yep. Akashic Records will answer a lot of your questions.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Awesome.
Yay.
Awesome. Is it Svetlana? I think that came in. Hello. I see you. Yeah, we can hear you too, my dear.
Rachel, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you click-clacking on the keyboard.
I hit myself. I thought I also muted myself too.
You're all
like,
good.
It's bad lighting and my hair's a mess. I'm just going to click off on here and lurk in the shadows.
That's why I've got a head wrap on. You're okay.
No, this is the first time I'm in your little Zoom meeting here. I'm so glad to catch you.
Yeah, do you want a card?
I love your video. Sure, why not? Thank you.
Do you want, is there anything particular on your mind right now? We're using tea leaves and moon oracle cards today.
Any issues any personal stuff that holds me back from success.
Okay.
Basically with my own, basically getting my own business up and running. It's been running, but it can be better.
Yes, it can always have improvement. Ooh, I got the happy cards for you. Okay.
I think I'm my own biggest issue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's pull a moon. What does the moon say? Do you have a hard time receiving constructive criticism?
Not really. I tend to I welcome it, but sometimes I take it personally.
Okay.
Like, what are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I welcome it. I like working from that, but I tend to, I want to see if it's valid first. Okay. Yeah. And sometimes I take it too personally.
Yeah. I was just about to say that because I got a cup for you for valid criticism.
Okay.
For accepting valid criticism. So that's going to be something when it comes to your business, getting it from the right sources, not like, you know, how we want to do what will resonate with our clients. But if we ask our competitors consistently for guidance, they're going to look at it from a business owner point of view, not from actually wanting to buy from you point of view.
Right.
So, the right source for criticism. It's a short journey to financial success. I've got a horse, and he's healthy and he's fit.
Mm-hmm. Are those the tea leaf cards?
These are.
I have them. I don't use them much.
They're this box.
Okay, yeah.
They're wonderful. They come in a gigantic bag that you're.
There's like 300 of them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then we also got a jug. So you're very lighthearted and carefree right now. So it's very much, I see no stress at all. The only thing is getting your criticism from the right place. That's really the only judgment here that I
gotcha.
And then I've got a waning crescent. I'm using the Tamed Wild Moon deck. And it's all about your instincts and intuition because you are in more of that builder energy on let's get things going. It's been slow moving because, of course, you know, we have Mars retrograde. It's hard to get things started right now. But you have entered that kind of place where it's easier to connect with your intuition and connect with your source and connect with your inspiration on all levels. So really follow that. Like, keep going with that because it's going to give you a really nice foundation and that'll help you find the good criticism. Some things to help with that, carry around some clear quartz. and focus a lot on your crown, like clearing and grounding yourself daily, but especially with your crown and letting yourself be open to other opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And what do you have, Susie?
As far as the business goes, I get that you're not fully integrated in all of your gifts. So you're not pulling in from all of the wonderful gifts that you want to work with. So it's almost like you have all these fragmented pieces that you're working on, right? And you have so many different things going on that you need to really bring them in and focus and work with everything. So what do you do for your business?
I'm a tarot reader, and I make handmade, I knit tarot bags. So handmade and the readings.
Okay. So you want to bring in all of your training, all your divination types, all of your loves that you really want to work together to be like a cohesive kind of business. So every wheel knows its part and is working in unison. And now is the time for you to actually what they call, it's called harvesting. Now is the time to gather everything that you work so hard for and put it in one basket. I know they say don't put it in one basket, but because you're so fragmented and different kind of all over the place. And we just finished Lamas, which is all about gathering.
It's the first harvest festival.
First harvest festival. But I'm also getting, you are, I'll show you this one, the keeper of the earth. So how do you feel about working with the earth energy? I love this card. Is that something?
I used to see, I'm a tarot reader, and I used to not like, I used to think the pentacles were boring, but I realized the importance of being grounded, remaining grounded, and putting all those ideas that are up in the air into fruition.
Yep. So I think that once you start gathering all of the pieces of what you love and putting it in one place, that you'll get really focused on what you want to do next in your business and really keeping grounded. And I really think you need to start working with, I swear, like crow goddesses, or what is that one goddess that I always want to call Crow Woman? Is it Crow Woman? I forget her name.
Google, come here.
She's an older crone, and she's a Native American woman.
Okay.
And you need to work with her. It's not buffalo. It's not white buffalo.
I'm Googling.
I forget her name.
The Crow Woman, you said it was Native American?
Crow? Is it Crow? Yeah. Native American.
Native
Do you have Native American?
Crow is in the animal, or crow is in the tribe?
I'm pulling up the red woman, but she's a cannibal monster of crow folklore.
No.
I don't think that's her.
Do you have Indian or Native American in you?
Not at all.
Not at all?
We are very Slavic.
Okay. But I wonder in your past life if you have.
No idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up that you are a keeper of earth. You need to tend to the earth. You are a light keeper of, the animals, the herbs, the waters, everything that has to do with Mom Gaia is what you're supposed to be doing.
How connected are you to your root chakra?
Not to.
There's an exercise then that I'd like you to try. A little bit of homework. Even if you're not a good drawer.
I'm an artist.
Okay, cool.
So I got that going. It's just an issue with probably since I moved out on my own about 10 years ago. Issues with security, like losing money, not finding jobs, having crappy jobs, leaving jobs, finding new ones, trying to get my business going. So it's doing better. It's just like the last 10 years have been whole years have been up in the air with living situations and money and, just being stable.
So she's trying to find stability and then trying to communicate properly that you're having problems.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that because you got a lot of red and blue back there.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a red pin behind you, your blanket.
Very good. Yeah. My grandmother made those.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of issues for your root and your throat then.
Okay.
So what I'd like you to try, because you are an artist, try drawing yourself.
Uh-huh.
And don't worry about it being perfect. Quick sketch, like 5-minute sketch. And notice what is missing.
Okay.
What stands out, if it's in swirls, if you're missing hands or your head or it cuts off or things like that, because that's going to tell you how you feel. So like, for example, if we have somebody who typically cuts off about halfway up the face and only shows the upper body, then they don't feel grounded at all or connected to any kind of belief kind of thing.
Okay.
Or like, for example, I draw myself. I normally don't draw hands. I have a hard time actually doing anything with my hands, and that's also because I bite my skin and my nails and stuff like that. So I have, being tangible, I have a hard time with emotion here. So things like that, that's going to tell you where you need work and where you need to start noticing your body a little more, and that'll help your foundation.
Okay.
Yeah. You treat your physical body. It's like the cup that holds all of your psychic ability. We need to treat that cup and make it beautiful and use the right clay and put it in the right kiln so it does not crack, kind of thing.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Someone typed something about the Crow Woman.
Okay. Yeah. The Dream Messenger. Is that who you're talking about?
I think it is the Crow Woman because she's older, right? She's a crone.
Yeah, Cree culture. She was raised in the Western culture she was around, which surrounded and dominated her life. Her quandary was finding a balance between the worlds. Yeah, which would work with Athena, since we're doing Athena this month.
For some reason, I see Native American around here. I don't know why, but
it's the beautiful hair.
Must be. Must be.
Yes.
And working with the earth and getting reconnected with the earth. I feel like you haven't been connected, especially when it's summertime, because a lot of people don't like to get out. Now is the time for you to start reconnecting with the earth, especially when you put these two cards together. Very much giving thanks to the earth, working with the earth, harvesting, bountiful kind of stuff. So yeah, earth energy is very much being brought to the forefront for your reading, for sure.
That makes sense, because I haven't always appreciated what's around me. I love the idea of gardening. My family had a garden when I was growing up. I'm renting. I don't feel like planting anything. I just put my lavender pot outside this morning on the way to work, because I was like, it's gonna die on the kitchen table with like I gotta put it out, so I'm gonna like water it every day. So I just put that out and just I like to maybe do a little more gardening, like pot gardening, something simple.
Yeah. How often do you actually, like, if you feel unstable or your security is threatened, do you prevent yourself from doing things? Like, for example, if you're sitting on the hotlines all day trying to get readings, do you not let yourself eat or go to the bathroom or sleep?
At times. I don't sit on the hotlines, but I will think around. I will just run in circles trying to find things, like trying to find ideas to do with my business. So at times, yes, I'll eat later in the day, like 3 p.m. or something. Like I'll be rumbling, and then I'll be like, I should probably shower and do laundry, So yeah, I will put things off if I'm trying to work something out.
Yeah, that's a unhealthy root chakra. We deny ourselves basic survival needs when we're so focused on getting to our goals. If we don't feel secure, we feel like we should deny ourselves things. Or if we have an emotional reaction, like if we're angry, we don't allow ourselves to eat or to sleep or things like that. So start working on that, because your body and the literal earth are all very root. And the more you work on your root and work on your basic survival needs, and start nurturing yourself and noticing your surroundings and appreciating them, that's going to bring in business flow, and it's going to make you happier.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
One, the Cree woman
Yes.
that you were talking about? She's of the Cree
Crow
culture.
woman. Crow woman.
The Crow woman, also called the Dream Messenger.
Okay.
She was from the Cree tribe.
I'm going to look her up. Thank you, guys.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Susie.
You're welcome.
Is there anybody else?
I think that's it. I think we got everybody.
Awesome. So, yay! It was a tiny crowd, but that's okay. We were able to chat with people. And like I was saying, we like to offer different options for those that are interested in coming to the full moon ritual this month. I know we will we do a goddess walk, so Susie will lead us through a goddess walk with Athena.
Yep, Athena.
And it'll be all nice and flowing, and actually we always record them just like this on Zoom so that everybody can meet together. I will be leading us through a full moon ritual this time, but in terms of really nurturing our sisterhood. So this time, it's really like if you were to come to a full moon circle in your area, and we would burn our intentions and we would lay things to rest and pass around a bowl and just light everything. It's very interactive this month. And it's going to be very much about bringing about balance and bringing in all the energy that's been chaotic from the retrogrades, because we already know, because of the Lion's Gate, you have everything that you need to succeed. We just need to get you to communicate and start taking those first steps, because then after that it's a breeze. We just get it all done. And yeah, Maya, there is a way to rewatch this. I'm recording it, so I'm going to pop it up on the YouTube channel, and I'll share it to Susie's group as well. That way they can go on and see it. But and then all replays like this, every time we do something like this, plus all the circles we do, they're in the Moon Sister Circle. So for those that don't know, we get together every full moon. We do the rituals like I just described with me and Susie, and we offer either you can reserve your spot every month for $47.77, or you can do a one-time ticket with us for $67. And if you like having a reading like this with me and Susie, we do offer one-time tickets with, I think it's a 20-minute session.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20-minute session with me and Susie for a little bit more. So very easy, very flowing. And then let me pop the Moon Sister sign up. Boom.
Now, if you guys aren't in my group, but you're in Rachel's group, I put a link to my group too. And then Rachel put a sign up for, but we would love to have you guys in the very beginning of us changing over to this more ritual, full moon, getting in the grassroots, the very foundation of things that are going to be changing. So we would love to see you guys there. It's not going to be so much as just tarot readings anymore. It's going to be huge rituals now with some tarot readings, and it's going to be, it's massive now. You're going to get a lot of bang for your buck, a lot of transformation. And like I said, you get to keep the recording and do the meditation and the activation. You're in the group, you get, your private Facebook group, you get support, you get all kinds of stuff for, the month, so you can really prepare for what's going on in your life. So we're here to help you.
Exactly. And we always check up on you. We have a community where everybody supports each other. And just what a sisterhood would be, a sisterhood of wild women would be. We're there to make sure we're all going. And Maya, to answer your question, what we're changing is normally I would do an energy activation around the chakras, or we would do simply just a goddess walk, and we would do a 20-minute reading with each person who attends. But this time we're limiting the number of people who are allowed, so up to 11 people. That way everybody gets one-on-one attention for the readings, and we're changing it so it's more of a ritual instead of just a meditation. Just a little bit different, so that this time it's a lot more immersive, because we plan on taking this to the next level where If we get more than just 11 people that want to join, we might start doing new moon rituals, or we might start doing retreats and things like that. So it's just tweaking it so that in the future we can provide even more value for you. And plus it's, getting all the activations and all the replays and all the goddess walks, no matter when. We create it so that it's a sacred space that can be watched over and over and over again. So if you want to walk with Serket, excuse me, Serket. If you want to walk with her over and over and over again and then go over to Artemis, feel free, go on and do it, or go over to Freya, feel free to do it. Or if you want to do the Kundalini activation and then do the third eye and then do the solar plexus like we've done, feel free, because we maintain that energy in the space. It's just going to be a little bit tweak in the energy.
Yep.
Just signed up. Really?
Yay!
Awesome. Yay, we have Maya. We will get you in the group then. Hey, we have another
sister. Welcome, Sister Maya.
Awesome. Well, we will get you in after we hop off. We will get you in the circle then.
Yep. And the good thing about it being the circle, you have access to all the stuff we've done previously. So even though we're not going to meet until probably the 20-something, I think, when we decide.
We're going to be meeting on the 25th.
Yeah.
That morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 11 a.m.
Yep. 25th. Since you're in it now, you have access to everything that we've done so far. All the activations, all the replays, all, the video recording, the readings, everything you will get access to.
Mm-hmm. Including all the workbooks that we keep making.
All the workbooks.
You get all of it.
You get all of it. So yeah, you have access to everything from day one.
Awesome. Yay! We got a new sister. And if anybody else wants to join us, feel free. Now we have... I'm trying to think of how many spots we have left. I know we're running out of them fast. So yeah, be sure to reserve your spot every month.
And I really think that when we up level this and we have Rachel and I have this vision of what it's going to be. Once we release that to everybody, everybody's going to jump on it. I'm telling you, it's going to be that strong.
Yeah, because we were just talking about this the other day, how, wouldn't it be wonderful to have a yearly retreat and to do literal goddess walks through the forest and to do workshops around claiming your magical power and in-person activations and yoga and
witchy stuff and magical stuff and intention setting and releasing and working on the healing women's wounds and sacred space, and a lot of stuff is going through our minds and planning. So we really am bringing in Athena. Planning.
And I love it. And Deb, you feel free. This invitation does not run out. It'll let you know when we're full up. It'll the page saying, sorry, we're all full. So feel free to let us know. Or grab the link. You can let me or Susie know and we will send it to you. And we're welcome in our circle anytime.
All the time. We're here to support every single one of you as sisters.
But it's to have sisters to share things with you, it's so lonely.
I know. That is what Sacred Space is about with sisters, is that we hold each other up when it's hard to stand on your own, when you're going through a rough time, and you will see the transformation of other women and how powerful women are in circle together as we raise energy. As we start releasing things that we've held on to, where we haven't had a chance to speak our truth, when we haven't had a chance to, roar at the top of our lungs, like a lioness that we are. So you get to see not only your own transformation, but other women's transformation. That is so powerful. So it's a good time for women's circles. And we're honored that you guys are going to be here with us.
Yes. I'm so excited for it too, because you're going to level up so much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yay.
So If anybody ever has any questions about what it entails, like I said, just message me or Susie, and we're more than happy to work with you. I know we have international people in the circle. We like to make sure as many people at a time can actually match and come visit us live. But like we said, we keep space no matter where you are. So just let us know. And then, is there anything else that you want to add, Susie? I think we're pretty complete with today.
Just, go out there, kick some butt.
Yeah. Use the Leo energy.
Yeah, get some Leo energy going on. Get strategic in what your next plan is in your life and go for it. Fearless. We are fearless in our life for the next 30 days.
Yes. It's going to be wonderful. No retrogrades can get you down.
No stopping us. No stopping us now. Ain't no stopping us. Anyways.
I love it.
I just killed the vibe.
Okay. No, it leveled up the vibe. It's all good. Awesome. Well, I hope everyone has a fabulous weekend then. And thank you so much for joining us. And like I said, the replay will be up. I'm going to say either this weekend or on Monday. At the latest, it'll be up. And I hope everyone, we shall see everyone later.
Everyone have a great new moon, and we will see you in the full moon circle.
Yes. Bye, everybody.